Okay guys, so today we're going to talk about pattern mixing, which is one of my favorite things ever to do. You guys know me. If you follow our Instagram, which is at LuLaRoeJennyMyra, I post my outfits almost every day, just about every day. And usually they involve a decent amount of pattern mixing between usually I have at least 2 different prints going on. Not always, but usually. And sometimes I add in 3 to 4 prints. I really like pattern mixing. I think it's a really fun way to add some spice to your wardrobe without, necessarily having to wear styles you're uncomfortable with. You can add a lot of interest. It also gives a lot more versatility to the pieces of clothing that you already own. So if you have, say you bought like a floral print shirt and you love it and you just wear it with this one like solid skirt, that's great, more power to you. But if you discover that you like it with pattern mixing, you might find that you have a whole wardrobe of possibilities now once you kind of understand the basic concepts. So this is going to be part of a series. I'm going to start going into more detail on pattern mixing every week for the next couple of weeks. This is just going to be kind of the basics. I already did a blog post which features a lot of talk with pictures if you're more of a picture person, discussing the different like matchup methods, but I also thought that it would be nice to have kind of the verbal because I can go into a little bit more depth, but not a ton since I'm going to go into it more in future weeks. So let's get started. So first, I am wearing a pattern mixed combo today. This is a black and white polka dot maxi skirt, and then this is a purple and cat print with like a aqua neon-y teal thing happening here. And then I have a gray Sarah on as well. So what's interesting about this is that first we have 2 prints that are mixing, which I have an example on the mannequin that I'll go into more detail about why this works, but we have 2 prints that are mixing, a black and white polka dot. The thing with black and white is black and white and polka dot are both neutrals. So when you have a black and white polka dot print, you get all of the things. The skirt I have to show you is not a polka dot. It is just a straight black and white print, but black and white is a neutral and it matches with everything. Polka dots are also a neutral, but the key is if they're not black and white, you got to stay in the same color family generally. There are some contrasting color options that you can do, which I'll show you. I have 3 mannequins dressed with pattern mixed ensembles, and then I also have 3 additional pieces for each outfit to kind of show you ways you could change that pattern mixing to show the versatility of the neutral piece that I'm talking about. So the other thing to note is that this Carly is one of the, it has like little ruffles on it, little like ruffly stripes. So what's interesting about that is it means that your Carly, or not Carly, sorry, this is Sarah. I'm tired. I need more coffee, guys. So this Sarah, the ruffles, it's technically a solid since they're all the same color, but those ruffles almost read like a stripe. So this is a way I sometimes bring in a 3rd pattern. Before I got really comfortable with it, I would do this a lot. And I have an example of that where you can bring in another texture that could almost be a pattern if it wasn't all one color, but it's not, and it gives you a little bit more outfit variance. So there's that. So the first one I'm going to talk about is this bad boy. This is a medium Julia with a small Shirley. This is one of the core neutrals we have. Stripes are a neutral. Part of what makes this work, so this stripe is like a lighter aqua color, and then it has this deeper teal here. And what makes it work with the Shirley is because the Shirley has the same tones in the kind of floral geometric combo that's happening here. So it works really, really nicely as a contrast. The stripe reads as a neutral, and then this is your accent piece, right? I have a couple more options to show you with this one. I have a Sarah, which I'll actually toss this guy off because it's easy to show the Sarah. So I have a Sarah. The Sarah, I'm tossing this off the screen. The Sarah has the same kind of tones as the Julia, but it has purple in it instead of all of those like rich navies and things. This one has just that hint of aqua. You can see it right here. It's almost exactly the same color as that Julia, but this one's an Aztec-y geometric print instead, so it gives you a completely different look. You don't have to necessarily do stripes with floral. You can do stripes with lots of other things. This one's a very nice Aztec, but it's a very geometric one. I'll bring it a little closer so you can kind of see that detail. But see, that is not a floral at all, but it totally works with the stripes. So the other options I have, I'm not going to put on the mannequin because it would take forever, but I'll show you in front of the mannequin. The first one's kind of an unexpected one. So this is a Jill. This is a medium Jill, but it features teal flowers that are the same color as the teal stripes, the darker teal stripes. So I'm going to bring it a little closer again so you can kind of see, whoop, my mannequin's very angry, guys. So you can kind of see the accenting there. It's the same color as that, so it works really nicely as a contrast. So that's the important thing to remember. If your stripe is not black and white, it's a colored stripe, what you're going to do is you're going to take one of the 2 colors or 3 colors or however many colors that your stripe has, and you're going to look for pieces that contain those same colors. So in this case, our colors are this aqua and this teal, so I'm going to look for pieces that either have aqua or teal or both. They can have both, but you need a unifying color to really make it work. So in this case, the brown is a great accent on the aqua, the teal is in the same floral pattern, and that's why this one works. The other one that I have for you is a Madison. It's a medium Madison, and it's another one that I really like pairing with Julia's. I love Madisons with Julia's. This one is a black background, but it has that same color that's in the skirt, or not in the skirt, in the Julia. You can see it there, same color, and that's why this one works too, because again, you're accenting it. And this is not a floral either. This is a geometric. It's almost a polka dot, but not quite. But that's why these 2 work, right? All right, so I'm gonna move Mannequin out of the way so we can talk about some of these other combos. So the next one that I have is kind of similar to what I'm wearing right now. This is an extra, extra small classic with a small maxi. This classic has a indigo background with hot pink and yellow and white and flowers, and there's some like Aztec-y print happening in here, and it's a whole lot of things, right? But black and white is a total neutral. So this is a black and white, and it almost looks like a diamond print. It technically has little dots, but it's not a polka dot really. It's really a geometric black and white print. But it works because black and white is a total neutral. So I paired it up with this really bright top to kind of make that point. This top only contains white. With black and white, you don't actually have to have those colors though. Black and white don't have to be in it. I have a few other examples. So the first one goes with this outfit actually. This first one is just a pink Sarah, which would accent it really nicely because it brings up the pink at the top and it kind of flows really nicely. The pink Sarah has this waffling texture to it and a little bit of the other colors that are hinted at in the classic. But it's a way of making that like textured Sarah thing work. So if you want to start experimenting with 3 prints, which we'll get into in a later video, but if you want to experiment now, texture is a great way to add in another print without it being super overwhelming, especially if you're just starting out. The other point I'd want to make, so this one is one I pulled intentionally because it doesn't contain any black and white. There's no black and white in here. This is like teal and blue and yellow and orange and green and all this other stuff. No black and white. But it also works really, really well with this maxi skirt because the black and white is a neutral. So it just makes this one pop a whole bunch and it looks like paint splatters. It's pretty cool. And then the last one was just to make, again, the point that it's a neutral. So this is a black cat Randy. So it's orange and has black cats with little white eyes and some of them have yellow eyes. But it also works with this maxi skirt because the maxi skirt is a neutral. And then the last one that I have for you guys, scooch this guy as far out of frame as I can. The last one that I have for you guys is this one. This is a 2XL Cassie and a large Irma. This Cassie, it looks black in here, but it's not. It's a navy and yellow, kind of like this orangey yellow polka dot Cassie. There we go, words. 2XL. This is a 2XL and this is a large, and it has a navy with the same golden color and oranges. So I'm pulling in the navy of the skirt, and I'm pulling in this color because it's not, so the thing is, this color is, it's like yellowy peachy. It's not technically present in this top, but because you have these yellowy dots with these orangey dots, the color looks like it's present because they kind of blend together. Let me bring this a little bit closer so you can see. So you kind of see how, because they blend together, they sort of make that tone, so it works really well to pick up the polka dots. But I do have some other combos too for this one. So the other combos that I pulled, I have a few different points to make. So this one has that darker blue background with yellow accents. The yellow accents are actually a little bit lighter, but again, they pull out the same tones, so it works. The next one that I have is also a navy background. This one's a perfect tee. This one's a large. Oh, and the classic was a 3X, by the way, just for sizing reference. So this one's a large. This one's a brighter blue than the Cassie, but it has that navy background back behind it and that yellow color. So again, it pulls out the colors of the skirt. And then the last one is to show that you can go a completely different color direction if you want to by accenting it. So this one is red with yellow and orange flowers with like this teal and navy, just hints. Those darker patches, those are actually dark teal and dark navy. So it works really well because it's technically still matching the skirt, and it pulls out the colors from the skirt. And again, polka dots are neutral, so it works with everything. So that's all I have for you this week, guys, but I will be back with more kind of in-depth about pattern mixing, talking more, I think next time we'll talk more about sizes of patterns, mixing small and large, as well as how to start incorporating 3 prints if you want to, and how to unify all of that using solids. So that'll be in the weeks to come, okay guys? And I'll also talk about more color theory, so like when you don't want to necessarily pull like this where it's got the navy and the yellow, but if you didn't want to pull those colors, what your other options could be. So stay tuned, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!